Hello everyone, this is Anmol. I've been busy lately, so after I think a long time, I'm going a new tutorial. Now I have seen that I am getting most of my requests about the jQuery and Ajax. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a jQuery Ajax request and add the data into the MySQL database via PHP. So first of all, we're going to need a jQuery for this. So I'm going to get the jQuery. Here you can get the jQuery. This one. It doesn't matter if you download the compressed or the uncompressed one. I've already downloaded it and named it as. I have used the minified versions for this. The minified version is easily load and has got less size because all the spaces have been removed from this. So another thing that I want to make a form here, so I'll not be involving in the designing part right now. For that I'll be using get bootstrap from here, downloaded it and then extracted it here. I have extracted the CSS and JS files from there to here, and now I'm going to make a new file. Like first one, we'll name it at ajax.php, and another file I'm going to make is, the file name would be get data. I think I'm already having the get data, so I'll be making fetch data.php. So I basically use the Komodo here. I think the data, yeah, there is the ajax.php and fetch data from PHP. Now moving on to here, I have my tut, and here we go with the Ajax and fetch data, right? The two blank files now. And the next step would be adding the jQuery. First of all, I want to tell you something about the Ajax. Ajax is asynchronous JavaScript call in which you can fetch the data from the database or any other thing, and can show the data on the runtime without even refreshing your page. Yes, this is the beauty of Ajax. Ajax currently has been used in most of the websites today, like the Facebook was also using the Ajax part a lot. Here, once the timeline is shown or the news feeds are shown, they are not refreshed, although they are going into the database. So that's the main beauty of the Ajax, that you don't have to load whole page, only a part of a page can be reloaded. So I'm going to make a simple HTML page here with head and body. Here I'm going to add the scripts from here. As I told you, I don't want myself to involve into the designing part right now, so I'm taking a little bit help from Bootstrap. By the way, Bootstrap is a very popular Twitter Bootstrap framework for the designing purposes. I'm going to call it CSS right now, which is heading in this CSS slash bootstrap.css. which you can see currently this file I'm referring to. And the next step would be getting the script jQuery. I have renamed it to jq.js type text of JavaScript, this one. And now my main focus is I'm going to make a div here. Div. I'm going to make the style of this div to be 50% wide. Okay, I'm going to name its ID my div. So far I have involved a bootstrap CSS file here and JS file from here, jQuery file from here, and I'm going to confirm is the file is included by a simple test. Type text. Yeah, this is the symbol for jQuery. Document and the ready part. By the way, this the Komodo editor is so far the best I have got to code in the PHP HTML. So moving on, I'm going to alert this into the jQuery function testing. Okay, so when I did this, yes, I'm getting the testing tag. So this means my jQuery has been included correctly. Now, as I told you, I'm going to take the help of Bootstrap from here. So I need a form from which the data is to be entered. I'll copy this code, enter it into my this one. Okay, type to be changed to text. Okay, so what I'm getting here now, testing. Okay, forward to delete this alert here. I won't be needing this file type, so I'm going to delete this part also. Okay, so I'm left with the form, email address and password and a submit button. I'll not be needing it to be a submit type, a simple button would be okay. I'm going to give an ID to this one and we'll name it save btn. Good. So I have this form created and I want firstly to save this data into that database. I'll be opening my PHP myadmin here. I've entered the username, root and root. I have created a new Ajax type. You will see the structure here. I have an email which is currently the primary key, and the password both are varchar characters. So I have already made it done. So now my focus is to save this data into this page without refreshing. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll send this data in the background and fetch the data from here. I mean, not fetching the data, I should have written it insert data. Let me correct this one. I'll rename it in data. Okay, so I'm making it in data, this one. I'll get the data from these, hit submit, and we'll get the data from here. Run this script in the backend, the in data one, so that it would insert the data into this part. Okay, I know this sounds something confusing, but I'm sure I could explain that. So this is my first thing is to get the data from here. I'm simply echoing here Ajax running. Here. When I click here, see the Ajax running. Now my part is to click this button and get this text onto this page without refreshing it. So how could I do that? Simple. We're going to first make an event for this. The event would be click a button. One more thing, you can see that this button is in the form. As I'm using Mozilla by default have the functionality, if I write any button into the form tag, it will behave as a submit, though it is not correct with the Internet Explorer and Chrome, but Mozilla behaves like this. So to do that, I'll make the return false in this on this click button. So my first focus is to make an event here for ID, the hashes for the ID, save button ID dot, I'm making an event here, click, and on click of this I'm going to run some code. Okay, so firstly let's check is the button is clicked. Okay, the button is clicked. Refresh it, click a button, button is clicked. See, remember here, see this part, after this it get refresh. We won't want this, so in the end what I'm going to do is the click of a button, I'll simply return false so it doesn't move to another page. See here, no refresh. So now I'm going to make an Ajax call here. So jQuery dot Ajax is my function here. There's a bunch of fields which I have to enter, like at what page you want to Ajax call. I want this call to be done at here, so I'll simply write here the URL, as you can see here, both are on the same, the in and the Ajax one. So URL, these are the fields. My URL is in data dot php, right? Okay, the type would be, by default it's get, so no harm in explaining that as well. There's comma here, comma here. And now when the Ajax call is success, there are two different type of functions you can do it. The success parameter and the finish parameter. Success is after the successful. The finish is whether the you have got the Ajax call success or unsuccessful. The Ajax call finish, then that is called. The data is the returning data which the success is getting here. So I'm simply gonna alert data here, see what happens here. I'm using Firebug here. Okay, so when I click submit, you see the Ajax running text here gets into this. And if I want to show you this, the Ajax calls from here. Remember the URL I added here, the URL, this one, right? So the Ajax call goes to this, and this is the header which has been going, means content type I'm sending, sorry, this is the response one, this is the request one, localhost and all these things I'm sending, and I'm getting the response, this one, the HTML response would be this one. So I can send anything from here. Okay, we have done this part. Now the next step would be capturing the values of these fields. So how we are going to do that? Simply, where for a variable I'm assuming email here, I copied here, so it's already getting got the email. Right here, copy, and ID of this one dot val is for getting the value, like in JavaScript you write get element by ID. I'm simply getting this password to jQuery. Where is this one? Password is the password dot val. I capture the value of this one as well. Sorry, I'm got a little confused here. This goes here. Okay, this goes here, my bad. I captured the values. Now, as you know, in get you have to embed the data into the URL. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to name it email is equal to plus email here, and then and pass is equal to plus pass here. Okay, so this is what I get. Yes, so let's try this one. I write here, let me open that a@sample.com and password will be 12345. Then submit. You can see here the email what I send, a@sample.com, and b pass is equal to 12345. To this I'm getting again running Ajax, because this is echoing only that thing also. So the next step would be, I have sent the data in background to this page. Now it's the time to get the data on this page and do some manipulations in that. So the rest is simple. We need email to capture. I'll write simply email is equal to $_get, as it's in URL email, and password would be pass. I'll make a new connection here. Com is equal to, what was that, Mysql underscore connect. Name of the host is, for me it's currently localhost, and username of mine is root, and the password I have set also is root, as I'm using the lamp, not the traditional XAMPP one, so I have to make a password. This one was simple. Now the next step is to select a database. Select database. What database I want to select here? The database would be Tute database and Ajax table, and string identifier, this one. Okay, now I'm going to build a query here to add data. SQL underscore query, insert into the table name was, let me check, Ajax values. Write this one in double quotes, that would be easier to make a query. Values would be, as both are varchar, so $email first one and $pass second one. Okay. So my next step would be run this query, and if Mysql underscore query, run this $query, if everything is okay, echo 1, else echo 0. Okay, so let's try out what I'm getting in this. Here we go. This is the same one. I'm clearing the past one and submit. I have submitted it. What I'm getting is 0. 0 means we're not able to get the data into this. Oh, my mistake. This would always return 0. Yeah, got it. Okay, so I've been able to add the data into the database. From 0, I have to check it. Oh, it's giving 0 0. Ah, sorry, we have to count MySQL underscore effect underscore rows here to get the correct influence here. So I think you have got the idea. If you don't, just write me. So it's getting the 0. I'm writing here if data is equal to 0, simply write what I want is I'm going to make a div here. The start will be okay. Div, I'm going to make the result here, and I'll get its ID, and will dot HTML. I'm writing here is h1, h3 would be okay. h3 we got inserted successfully. Okay, now we'll see the flow here. Refresh. a@p.com, KWERTY, submit, and you can see here I haven't refreshed it and it's getting me this. I refresh this and I'm getting the another. So this is how we're going to get the Ajax work. Pretty simple, pretty easy. If you need any queries, if you have any queries, just let me know, comment on this video, and I'll be in touch with you. In future I'm going to launch now the latest technologies, like the tutorials on Mongo and anything which is a pretty complex. So watch out for my channel, and thank you for your support. Bye bye for now.